divisional round of the NFL playoffs is here, and we are going to preview and predict all of these matchups. Welcome into Verts. My name is Harrison Graham. This is the schedule for this weekend. 4 games, 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday, kicking off with who else? The Houston Texans, who have seemingly taken that Saturday afternoon slot. They'll take on the Chiefs, 4:30 Eastern on ESPN and ABC. That'll be capped with Washington at Detroit in the night game, 8 o'clock Eastern on Fox. Can't wait for that one. On Sunday, it is the Rams at the Eagles, 3 o'clock Eastern time on NBC and Peacock. And then it'll be the Ravens at the Bills, 6:30 Eastern on CBS and Paramount+. I think that is pretty clearly the game of the weekend. We'll get into all 4 of those matchups, and I'll give my predictions for each of them. Before we do, if you're fired up for this weekend, the divisional round a lot of years is the best weekend because you still have 4 games and you get some big-time matchups. Hit that like button if you are fired up for this weekend slate of football because I, for one, cannot wait. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the games. Texans at the Chiefs. Chiefs 8.5-point favorites, over-under set for 41.5. It is apparently going to be very cold in Kansas City, and I don't think that bodes that well for CJ Stroud. In college, he struggled in cold weather. In the NFL, he plays in a warm weather division. He plays in a dome at home, doesn't have to go outdoors too often. Last year in the divisional round, had to go to Baltimore, a little bit colder, a little bit tougher. We know Mahomes, Kelsey, these guys, they've played in these conditions time and time again, and they've just played in these games time and time again. I think Houston, for the second year in a row, good job to win a playoff game. I think next year, how do they find the way to get to that next level? I like the Chiefs here, 27-17. Mahomes in this spot, they're going to be fresh. They haven't played their key guys in like 3 weeks, so maybe some early rust. I will say this. I think that's the way, if you're Houston, jump on them early because Kansas City's key players haven't played in 3 weeks. You're coming off a win. You're in the mode already. I think that's your only chance, but I like Kansas City. I think their defense rises to the occasion in these conditions, and the offense makes enough plays, and Mahomes, when it matters most, will get the job done. Commanders at the Lions, the Saturday night game. A little bit different in terms of the over-under, 55.5. Of course, it'll be indoors in Detroit. Lions are a 10-point favorite. A lot of points for a divisional round playoff game. I do have them covering just slightly, 35-24, which would be 59 total points. I like the over here. Obviously, Detroit's really banged up on defense, but they got Anzalone back in Week 18. Against Minnesota, he made a big difference. Kirby Joseph and Brian Branch at safety are playing outstanding. If they can get enough pass rush on Jayden Daniels, his splits, if you look at the PFF numbers, Pro Football Reference, etc., when he's under pressure, not nearly as effective. So if they can get an interior pass rush going on Jayden Daniels, I think that's going to be a problem for Washington. But listen, the Commanders all year, they just continue to find a way. It would not shock me at all if they were in this game in the fourth quarter. But I do have Detroit 35-24. David Montgomery's coming back. In Washington, I think a key stat in this game, their run defense, I believe, is 30th in the NFL. What does Ben Johnson and the Lions offense like to do? Like, everybody thinks, oh, they're this high-flying attack, and they are. They're a run-first team. David Montgomery hits you in the mouth. Jahmyr Gibbs is the Lightning. They're going to get that run going. Safeties will sag down. Jared Goff will get the play-action game going. I think Washington's defense could really struggle here, especially with it being indoors. Obviously, that's a big advantage Detroit, big advantage Jared Goff. I think they have a big day offensively. Detroit 35, Washington 24, second straight season in the NFC Championship game for the Detroit Lions. Before we get to the Sunday game, subscribe to the channel. We will continue to have daily NFL videos. Coaching search stuff is ongoing, playoff coverage. We'll have some coverage for the College Football Playoff National Championship as well. Probably a prediction video, preview and prediction, and then also a post-game reaction on Monday night. So lock in us for that. We'll have full coverage this weekend for the 2 days of NFL playoff games. So we're not going anywhere. By the way, shout out to everybody who watched our video yesterday, our NFL head coach predictions. If you haven't seen it, go check it out. We're almost at 6,000 subs. We're like 50 away, I think now, 75 away. So appreciate the love, the support, the new subscribers. If you are a new subscriber, turn on those notifications. That way you never miss an episode here on Verts. Okay, Rams at Eagles. Eagles 6.5-point favorites. Over under 43.5. Could be nasty conditions as well, which you would think favors Philly. Because they're used to it. The Rams playing indoors a lot, West Coast, all that stuff. Cross country flight. A lot of reasons to pick Philly here. They also didn't play great last week, and the Rams played awesome. Like, are the Rams going to replicate that performance, and is Philly not going to play better this week? I like the Eagles 23-20, and the more I'm thinking about it, I wonder if it could be more like 30-20. I think Philly wins this game at home, but I have a lot of respect for Matt Stafford. I have a lot of respect for Sean McVay. Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, those boys, they've been there, especially Kupp, obviously. I think for the Rams, what's been most impressive about this run, second half of the season, their defense and their defensive front in general. Chris Shula running that side of the ball, what a hell of a job. I mean, to hit on 2 rookie draft picks on the defensive line the year Aaron Donald retires, in Jared Verts and Braden Fisk, all they've done is get better and better and better throughout the year, and they were good to start the year. Those 2 players are fantastic. They're going to be really good for years to come on that side of the ball. But I like Philly. I think they find a way. When they played earlier this year, about 6-7 weeks ago, Saquon ran for 250. Now, I don't think it's going to be that easy, but I expect him to hit the century mark. If Jalen Hurts can just be complimentary, play a little better than he did last week against Green Bay, I like the Eagles. They get it done 23-20. Okay, the game of the weekend, and I think potentially the game of the playoffs. Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson have never played each other in the playoffs. We are long overdue for this matchup. Ravens at Bills. Baltimore a 1-point favorite heading into Orchard Park. And Buffalo over under 51.5. I'm going Ravens on the road, 31-28. I don't know what it is. I think these teams are pretty even. Baltimore hammered them in the regular season at home back in, I think, week 4, week 5. Just killed them. I don't think that will happen, but the shortcomings of Baltimore in the playoffs has been Lamar in recent years. He just hasn't played as well, and he's turned the ball over more. I thought he played excellent last week against their arch rival, the Pittsburgh Steelers. But I think the big difference this year is this. Number 1, year 2 in Todd Monken's system, Lamar's never been better as a passer. And number 2, Derrick Henry. He takes the pressure off of Lamar. I think in past years, and we saw it in the AFC Championship game last year against the Chiefs, he just started forcing passes against Kansas City. He would press a little bit, take a deep breath, hand the ball off to Derrick Henry. Todd Monken, lean on your running game, especially early in this game, and then let Lamar do his thing. I think Baltimore and their defense, by the way, the last 6 weeks has been one of, if not the best in the NFL. Pittsburgh found a few downfield plays in the second half, so they'll have to clean that up from last week. But I just think Derrick Henry's the difference. And I think if they win a Super Bowl this year, it'll be that addition, his impact, his just ability to take over a game as a running back. They have 2 guys that can carry an offense now. Lamar, who has struggled to do that in the playoffs, and now Derrick Henry. So Derrick Henry takes that burden off. I like them 31-28. As good as Josh, as good as the Bills have been this year, I just think the Ravens have a little more punch. Now, the one thing to watch this week will be Zay Flowers. He did not practice today, so that'll hurt if he's out. They didn't really need him last week, though. Buffalo's a different animal. I get that. But if he's out, maybe the pendulum swings back toward Buffalo. But this is truly a pick'em game. I like the Ravens 31-28. Justin Tucker, game-winning field goal late in this one. All right, that's going to do it for this episode. Who you got, by the way? Ravens, Bills. Who wins on Sunday night? I'm leaning Ravens, but I just want a good game. I want this game to live up to the hype, and I think it will. Give me the Ravens to win. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We will have coverage every single day here on For Verts, NFL, college football, reacting to playoff games, coaching carousel, everything else in between. My name is Harrison Graham. We'll see you soon.